You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it.
Hello, Sharks, and welcome to Moments with Shai Will. Today, we have a very special guest, Abby Ballin, a photographer during the day and a comedian at night. What's up, Abby?
Oh my God, I'm special. How many specials are you gonna give me? I love it.
A whole lot.
I'm fabulous, you're dazzling. I always love seeing you, Shai, so I'm super excited to be here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Yes, so tell me, what got you interested in photography?
Honestly, I was always interested in any kind of art form, like very creative, love dancing, singing, painting. And then photography was just kind of, a friend was taking a class. I was like, that sounds interesting. I did it. I got to play around in the dark room because this is back in the days.
I already knew that the moment you said the dark room, but go ahead.
The dark room, the darkness, yeah.
Yes.
So that was fun and interesting. And then I just started from there, like interning at a photography studio. And honestly, it's all about learning. The nice thing about photography is a lot of learning. So I like that.
I like that too. That's good. So what has your experience been like during your first photo shoot?
So, like I said, I started very young. So a lot of times when I was first starting, I was assisting. So I got to my first like real photo shoot. I was assisting for a photographer, and he had about 6 different models, and they had crazy big hair and the makeup, and the whole production of it just made me be like, wow, this is so gorgeous and so like exciting, and everyone was just fabulous. And I was like, I want to be a part of something where people look beautiful, feel beautiful, and you get to just create some magic.
So you enjoyed the outcome of it. You
Yeah.
felt like you were in your field.
I think it's the outcome, but even the process of doing it is like you're getting to play. It's like a little girl in a dress-up
I
thing,
know, and
you
I
know?
love playing dress up
Yeah.
for sure. I get it. And then so like now with the experience that you have, what else do you see yourself doing as far as with the photography?
Well, I've done video work, so that's kind of usually like if you're gonna expand from photography, obviously you try different fields. I've done events, I've done product, I've done people, fashion, beauty.
So like
commercial,
commercials. Yeah, there we go. That's
everything.
gonna ask you, what was it
Yeah.
like doing commercials? Because I know that's a whole setup that's different as far as going to a studio, having a model, and we just
Yeah.
have a background and we're taking photos.
Yeah, so especially if you're going from stills to video, you're now thinking about so much more aspects. Right now, if I'm just taking your picture, I'm looking at you and I'm like, okay, let me make sure your hair's on point, your makeup's on point, you're not too shiny, you're not too frizzy, you know? And then it is a little bit about energy, like make you naturally laugh and all that stuff. But then once you're going to video, now it's everything. Now is the sound quality good? Are you looking good from every single angle that you're, you know, there's so much more to think about, which makes it more challenging, but also more fun, because now you have even more of a story to tell.
Right, I like that. So what advice would you give to an upcoming photographer? Because things are so different now, everything is so digital.
Yeah.
Now they have programs where you can make it look like you did a great job, knowing that it was all like apps they have, right?
Yeah. You know, everyone scares everyone going into any field that your field is dying, especially if it's a creative field. They'll say technology is going to come and take your job. And if you're a scared person, you're going to get scared, you're going to shy away from it. But the reality is, photography is something that's been around forever. It's evolved in so many different chapters. And really, in the end of the day, what AI or technology can't do is the human interpersonal skills. And that's a huge part of photography, because yes, maybe you could creatively do something on the app to make you look a certain way, but you're not gonna have that same human feel and maybe the little magical candid moments that you would have had if you're interacting with a real person. So if someone was starting out in photography, I say just do it, but
Right.
make sure your social skills are on point. Make sure you got good energy and you know how to vibe with the person.
Yes.
Because that's more important than how much you know about your cameras, how much equipment you have. Like, can you create a fun environment where someone can feel relaxed, natural?
And that's exactly where I'm getting at with this, because I do photo shoots too. Well, I mean, I'm the person in front of the camera, but the thing is that sometimes it's not there. The energy is not there with this person, and I've had that before.
Yeah. I mean, it's more like they got to center themselves. And a lot of times people are thinking about too many things. They're like thinking about, okay, how much studio time do I have? How much light do I have? Is my battery going to run out? Like, there's all these things that you're thinking about as a photographer. So, like, the more experience you have, the easier it is to be like, I know my batteries are charged. I know.
Exactly. Oh, I've had that experience.
Yeah.
The man came with a backdrop. It was wrinkled.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And then he had to charge his battery. So I've had my experience. Have other photographers. I still haven't gotten my pictures.
Oh, yeah.
I've paid for the work.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Now, there's a lot of people out there giving photography a bad name for
Yes, it
sure, because it is a lot. And I think going into it knowing it's going to be a lot, because it's not just the shoot. It is the post. So even if you're not doing your edits, you're still filtering through to find the right selects. You're still having to upload it, deliver those photos.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it, but it can sound daunting, it can sound scary, but if it's something you want to try, you just do it. Like, there's so many things holding everyone back, but it's really the initial step to just starting something.
That is so true.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think
Right.
there's the perfectionism. I'll start when I have this. I'll start when I have, like, the right studio.
I get people that
the
say that
right
all the
camera.
time. I always wanted to do radio, but I'm practicing. I'm waiting for the right time. I'm like, you don't even
There's
understand
never-
how you sound right now.
Yeah, there's never the right time. You're never going to have everything you want. You just have to go for it.
Exactly.
And you're going to learn on the job. It's one of those you're learning on the job things. And you can also learn, okay, maybe this isn't for me, but you might find what you are passionate about just by doing it. So
that's really great, Abby. Sharks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling.
When I graduated from the Honors College with my Associate's in Arts degree, I had the choice to either enter into a larger university or to stay at Miami-Dade College. I don't think if I was in a larger university, it would be as easy as it was to just integrate myself into a research group as I did. So I'm very thankful for Miami-Dade College for offering me all of these opportunities that I perhaps would not have seen in a larger college.
You're watching MDC-TV.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it.
Welcome back, Sharks. You're tuned in Moments with Shai Will. We have been speaking with Abby Ballin, photographer during the day and comedian at night. So I want to know, was comedy a natural thing for you, or did you have to learn to do comedy?
very, very natural. The most natural thing I've ever done was doing comedy. Like, the minute I got on stage, it was really, really easy. Easy for me to make people laugh, easy for me to think about what to say.
Okay, hold up. Let's roll that back. So what was the age?
So I started later. As far as that side of things. So I was about 30 when I started doing comedy. So I'd already lived a very full 20s and a full teens. I've had a lot of a life experience. So that's a huge part of stand-up is what do you have to say? And sometimes younger people really don't have much to say.
Yeah.
So I think it was helpful in that sense that I'd already lived a decent amount of life, but I had performed in other ways. I was a singer, I was a dancer, I had done some theater, so it wasn't completely unnatural for me to be on stage, so that helped.
Yeah.
But the humor thing, I think I owe it to my alcoholic parents because they really just made me put on a show all the time. And so from a very young age, I was the clown of the family. And so it really translated well for the alcoholic adults in my audiences now. I'm
Right, because now
I've
that's
done
who's
this.
going to the comedy shows.
Yeah.
I know.
I love my drunks. I do. Yeah.
I know. That's funny. So what was like your first joke? Was it like a knock-knock joke? Because that seems to be everybody's.
A knock-knock joke? What comedy shows are you going to, Shai? A birthday party? You're going
Girl,
to a
you'd
kid's
be
birthday
surprised.
party?
I've heard some of them, but I mean.
Oh, that's bad. That's a
Yeah.
bad comedy show if they're doing knock-knock. No. So funny thing enough, so I had a drunk open mic experience in my 20s, but I don't count it because it wasn't something I continued to do. When I first started taking it seriously was in Miami. And it was one of those random Miami nights when it was cold and like it's 50s, ooh, frigid,
No
you
one
know?
comes out, but
it's
yeah.
freezing. So, and all I had in my car was a scarf and I was in a t-shirt, I was freezing and it was an outdoor show. And I wrapped the scarf around my head because I think about how heat releases from your head. So
Right.
I'm like gonna keep myself warm with the scarf on my head. Now everyone thinks I'm Muslim because of this.
I was going there, but
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm Muslim and I'm just too cold to care. Yeah, so that was a joke I told once, never again,
Right.
never planned on telling, but I had to address the elephant in the room, which
That's
was
right.
everyone thinks this is what I look like just because I'm trying to relieve myself from the cold.
Okay, so I don't know if that was your best or your worst comedy experience, but would you like to tell us?
No,
Unless
that
there's
wasn't. That was my best. Wasn't my worst.
Okay.
Recently, I had a really bad comedy experience where I had to perform for a conservative temple where everyone was like near death, like trying to make really old people try to laugh when they're on their way.
Conservative temple.
Yeah, so it was in a Jewish synagogue, and they were all like 80-year-olds. So look at me. Like, is that my vibe? Is that my vibe?
I don't know.
But it was a fundraiser. I was trying to help out. This community is like dying off, and they're trying to raise money to keep their temple going. So I was like, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to sing some parody songs. I'm going to make it fun. But they couldn't hear. They were farting. It was interesting. It was very old. So it's like you feel good because you're helping, but then
Yes.
you're up there and I'm doing like 45
sweet moments.
Yeah, I'm up there doing 45 minutes of comedy for
That's long.
yeah, for people who are like, eh.
Very long. 45 minutes is long.
Yeah, you end up just talking to yourself, making yourself laugh.
Yeah, but them having someone to look at, something different.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I sparkled extra that day.
Oh, I'm
extra
sure.
sparkly.
Shiny
Yeah.
star, right? Oh my goodness. So tell me, how do you manage your personal life with your comedy occupation? Because sometimes I know a share amount of comedians, and I don't know when you guys are serious or not. So I want to know, like, how do you separate it?
Interesting. I think that I don't hang out with people who can't take a joke, who don't have a sense of humor.
Facts.
Yeah, I don't hang out with people like that. And I'm also, when I'm off stage, I'm very real. And I try to really let people know who I am so that they know my essence. So even when I'm making a joke, they're like, she's making a joke because I know Abby's a good person. And I know she actually cares. Like that whole joke about terrorism couldn't be more opposite of my worldviews. Like I'm actually very passionate and like a humanitarian, really care about people. But can I make fun of things in the moment because life's not so serious? And sometimes making fun of dark things is what comedians do.
Yes.
So as far as a personal life, I don't know what that is. As you know, I'm always working. I make like anyone I know, I'm like, if you don't see me at a show or a shoot, I'm probably not seeing you. But yeah, I like to be around people who can make light of life.
Yeah, I like that. And right now with comedy, it seems like there's a lot of sensitive people, and I see some things and I'm like, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Do you feel like comedy, people have become so sensitive to the sketch of comedy? Because, that's what makes it, I believe it makes the world go round just like music does. It's a beautiful thing.
So in Miami or South Florida, not so much. Like the audiences are a little bit regressed. Like I feel like we are not woke in South Florida. Like we are a little bit more dated in our worldviews. So you can get away. I love it for comedy. You can get away with a
Miami,
lot.
you like it.
South Florida, very easy. You don't get pushed back as much. But go to LA, especially when
How is it in LA?
they're very sensitive, and I don't really care. Like I'm just like, you're gonna hear it, and the few people are gonna be relieved that someone is just making fun of things, because that's what comedy is.
Exactly, exactly. Because if we think of all the sketch comedy shows from Living Color, Mad TV,
Wild.
like,
Wild.
exactly. Can you imagine those shows being televised right now? It's like
They wouldn't make it.
no, they wouldn't. So that's why I had to ask you that question, because I feel like people are just a little too sensitive.
And I think comedians do get scared, but I think that there's an audience for everyone. And if you want to stay in this very like caged realm where you feel like, okay, I can only cater to this type of audience that's very sensitive, and that's where you feel safe because you don't feel like you're going to get canceled, go for that. I don't really care. I'm like, I'm just going to make people laugh, and if I say something that offends you, I'll talk to you after the show about it.
There we
Let's
go.
get into it, but it's not that serious.
And let's enjoy the show. Exactly. I feel exactly the same way. All right, Sharks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay here with us.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked. You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it.
Sharks, we're glad you're still here with us. It's Moments with Shai Will. So now let's have a little fun. It's time for some self-reflection. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, what do you find most challenging in your life and career right now at the moment?
Time. Need more time.
Need more time.
Yes, I wish we could make the planet spin a little slower and give us more hours in the day. I need more time. Yeah.
Because you have a lot of shows.
I have a lot of
You
shows.
do a lot of shows. You're having a show like almost every day, right? Close enough, and sometimes 2 shows a day.
Yeah.
And how do you manage that?
I don't sleep a lot.
Yeah.
I don't sleep a lot, and
Sounds like a lot of concealer, girl.
it's a lot. Yeah. This is cake, baby. It's cake. It's all cake.
Yeah.
No, I don't sleep. I think I'm born with a lot of energy.
Yes.
Like I think some people just have a certain amount, and I think I have the extra of the lazy folk. It all came in me. So I'm fortunate that I have a lot of power behind me. I'm sure at some point my stamina will deflate, and who knows, but at the same time, my father's 87, still working, and he's on fire. Like
Yeah,
he's just,
I know. I've seen some of your posts with your dad. I'm like, look
got-
at him.
he does not quit. So sometimes it's just genetics is what's in you. So, but I would love more time because I honestly have more ideas and more shows and more
Yes.
things I want to do. And it's just balancing and trying to make time for it all. And I know at some point it's the letting go, like knowing you've outgrown something and it's time to move on from it. But I'm so sentimental and I love everything I put my heart into. So it's hard to always say goodbye and move on to something else. But yeah, those time and letting go is probably the challenge.
I like that time. Yeah, because even for me, you know, to be able to balance everything is like, okay, I can't get that extra 5 minutes of sleep. Oh, no, I can't stop and get breakfast. It's all about time and trying to go to bed on time, which is hard for me.
yeah.
So I understand. Because it's going by really fast. You know, the year, we're halfway, almost halfway.
Insane. Insane. Where is it going?
Exactly. So what is the best advice you ever received from someone that has actually guided you through your life?
Ooh, best advice. I don't know if I can think of something that someone said to me, but I know for me, what I say is you just kind of have to keep going.
That's right.
Like, you just keep going. You fall, you get back up, you just keep going. And you, like, I like a lot of reflection and not necessarily so much prep plan, like, because I think sometimes when you think too much about where you're going, you never actually get there. Where if you just like stay present and just figure out, what do I have to do now? What do I have to do now? And then reflect on, okay, that worked, that didn't work, and then keep moving forward, you'll get somewhere organically that you should get to,
Right.
versus having so much expectation about looking at,
Okay.
I want this, now how do I get this? I don't operate like that. I'm not like, oh, I want to get on Shai Will's show, now let me like plan and manipulate and figure out how to do this, versus organically we have a relationship, eventually
Right.
you're like, I'm right for the part, you want
Yeah,
me
like,
here,
come
let's
on,
do
girl,
this. That's
yeah.
how I'd rather it be, where you come to me and you want me based off of the work and the things I'm doing.
I like that. I like that a lot, because, you know, yes, you have to be consistent, you know, physically, like how you move and where you're going, where you're trying to get to. But at the same time, you have to be consistent with your mind too, of how you think. Yes, like you said, what am I going to do next? And I think like that all the time. And even like when we have, let's just say we have an obstacle that get in our way, how am I going to move forward? That's how I'm always thinking. Even though I'm like, okay, I'm going to live through this emotion and get through it. Okay, now how are we moving forward? Because we're not going to fake the funk like it's not happening.
Yeah.
Because that's when you fall.
Yeah.
My personal opinion.
Yeah, you gotta play with the cards you're dealt with in that moment. And sometimes when you're looking too far in the future, there's cracks, and you're never gonna make it, and you're just gonna be on that hamster wheel of going nowhere and around in circles. Yeah.
Exactly. So tell me 3 words that describes Abby Ballin. I wonder. How you describe yourself?
I would say fun, I would say vibrant and creative.
I definitely see vibrant. I definitely see creative. I enjoy watching all your posts. You get so creative with everything, so animated, so eccentric. You know, that's my word.
Yeah, you are eccentric for sure.
And I like that. You know, I like watching everything that you post. You know, I come to your shows, and it's a motivation for me too, because I see you're always on the grind, girl. How do you stay so focused and dedicated and consistent?
I just love what I'm doing. I think I love what I'm doing, and I really don't know other than that. I like it, so therefore I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So what's the one advice that you can tell the sharks?
The sharks?
Yes.
Have more fun, play, like I think accessing our child, we all have a child in us. So find ways in whatever that is that you can get into that play, that sense of play with yourself, because whether you are maybe even working in corporate, that sense of play is going to give you more energy and drive to maybe create a new division within your whatever you're working on, or especially if you're in a creative field, play is super important.
Yes.
And that's where you're going to develop something, a new character, a new artwork, a new fashion sense, like whatever, you know, your outlet is. If you allow yourself the space to be silly, to be stupid, to have that cringe even, like,
and a lot
oh
of
my
people
God.
can't do that, because,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like, sometimes I'm saying something, they're like, are you talking to yourself? I'm like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
They're
Oh yeah,
like,
talk to yourself.
What's wrong with you? I said, you don't do that?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I watch my work. For example, I watch Moments with Shai Will as well. I watch my Love Jones shows. I watch everything. And someone would be like, oh, you just love watching yourself. I said, you would never understand. For you to make that statement, you would never understand the art behind it. Is because I need to know. I want to see where I need to make the corrections. You know, you want to get better at what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I never watch myself, and I'm like, damn.
You should.
I watch myself.
It took a long time for me to even hear the feedback of my voice. I used to cringe.
I used to watch it without audio.
Yeah.
And then eventually just with audio and no visual.
So now you're up a step. Now you can do both audio and
I can
visual?
watch it all, and I can be like, that's fire, and I can also always look at the mistakes and the corrections, because that's just how my brain works. But I don't feel bad about it.
No,
I'm not like
at
hating
all.
on myself, because I'm still doing it. But it's where you learn.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm stating. It's because we know how we want to sound and what we want to project to the world about us and our career. So definitely, I appreciate that. And thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you so
again.
much.
This
I
was-
love you so much. And
Yes,
the show
me
is
too.
fabulous. You're fabulous.
Thank
and
you.
very eccentric.
Yes, thank you so much, Abby. All right, Sharks, it was such a pleasure having Abby Ballin on the show. Thanks for tuning in. Moments with Shai Will. See you later.